within 1 month. This is primarily an attempt to increase food supplies in connection with the international economic blockade of Iraq. On the eve of a referendum in South Africa, in the suburb of Johannesburg, 3 journalists were wounded. An unknown assailant threw a grenade. The journalists were in this area to cover clashes between supporters of Inkatha and the African National Congress. Today in Sarajevo began the next round in the peace conference in Bosnia-Herzegovina at the initiative of the European Community. Representatives of the 3 leading national parties must still adopt a declaration regarding the government status and the formation of the republic. The number of victims of the earthquake in the southeastern region in Turkey has reached 800. There have been problems identifying a number of victims due to the difficulties in rescue efforts. In the south and southeast regions, there was another aftershock reaching 6.0 on the Richter scale. It seems the Polish are seriously disappointed that we may stop transmission of the Channel 1 program. In Warsaw, people watch all Russian TV, which is transmitted from the top of the House of Culture and Science. It's not just, but residents of Warsaw can see these programs. They are also joined by the eastern region of Poland, thanks to Belarus and Ukraine. Many in Poland watch Channel 1's news from Ostankino. I believe that each country is interested in giving correct, objective information about itself and its country, in that this is the best way to reinforce trust. The American journal U.S. News and World Report reports that 3 short-range nuclear missiles disappeared from a base in Kazakhstan. This is attributed to American intelligence reports. 1 has apparently reached Iraq. Similar information was transmitted by German Wave and attributed to the German intelligence services. Itartas published confirmation of these reports attributed to the press center of the CIS Ministry of Defense. American intelligence has established that several scientists from the former USSR work on nuclear programs for Libya and Algeria. According to reports, these were people who had worked in military development projects in Kazakhstan. However, according to the CIA, there are few people working in Libya and Algeria, 6 to 7 in countries. However, the list could include Iraq, which, according to nuclear experts, has been attempting to increase development of its nuclear program. According to the German press, Iraq is currently recruiting experts from the former USSR. 2 scientists have already concluded 5-year agreements to work on nuclear programs. 1 is an expert on laser technology, one on nuclear warheads. Washington has said that other countries are trying to attract our specialists with profitable terms of agreement. These include Israel, Pakistan, and India. Apart from this news on the brain drain, we have received that there is good news for the U.S. According to Dr. Ty Cobb, head of the influential Businessmen for National Security, Cobb believes that if the flow of scientists to the U.S. continues, this will help the U.S. combat the lag behind Japan. Big business doesn't seem so good in Moscow, especially as the citizens believe that their rights are being violated. Today, the cornerstone was laid for the International Center for Information Science and New Technologies. This ceremony should begin the Russian-French project, which will take up 60,000 hectares, where a unified block of buildings, including the Center for Informational Science and New Technologies, will include also business and housing complexes as well as a public trade center. The Russian president was invited to the ceremony, as well as the Patriarch of all Russia, Alexei from Constantinople. However, it is still unclear why Mayor of Moscow Popov, as well as Vice President Ruskov, who took part in the project, were not invited. According to the protocol procedural, houses of those who used to live on the territory of the project were razed. The residents of the Oktyabrski region held great protest. This is considered to be one of the nicest neighborhoods. They protested against being relocated to unknown areas, and they were promised apartments in the new buildings. And though this project will cost over $10 billion, it won't cost the city anything. Moscow doesn't believe in tears, as they say. However, this did not block laying of the cornerstone. Maybe the cornerstone should have been laid after. At 1:53, the launch of the international German-Russian crew to the Mir station will take place. Alexander Vitalenko, Alexander Kavaley, and Klaus-Dietrich Flagger are among the cosmonaut crew. Our correspondent reports from the Baikonur Cosmodrome. Among the questions in the pre-launch press conference, there were several torturous questions that are usually not within the area of cosmonauts, including those on politics, money, and rumors. We're cosmonauts. We've never divided our program up into Kazakh, Russian, Ukraine, and other areas. We feel that we're just working for our country. With its nationalization of the program, Kazakhstan has threatened the other republics that have contributed finances. With its lack of financing, there's a major problem, as there has been no CIS treaty concluded. Because of this, the city of Leninsk is in ruins. As is well known, today the sending of containers abroad has been stepped up by 1 month. It seems as if the overwhelming opinion is that the world and international community is more interested in the preservation of Soviet cosmonautics than the fraternal countries themselves. Volkov and the other cosmonauts were returned, having left a country completely different. It's hard for them to believe what life is like here. I'd like to say that we wouldn't like to be in their situation. Well, that's all the Channel 1 news and events for today. All the best. MMM. These are the lowest ruble prices. It's a guarantee from against defects. Today, it's good to buy MMM products in rubles. Good evening. Among the countries vying to host the Olympics in the year 2000, the first in the 21st century, Tashkent has now thrown its hat in the ring, according to France press agency reports. In Germany, the first round of the Super Cup is over. The CIS national team took second place after the Romanian team. The Romanian team gave our girls their only loss in the tournament, which cost them first place and the trophy. In the tennis tournament, more than $3 million have been contributed to the U.S. prize fund. Andrei Cherkas, Natalia Zvereva, and Aliya Mesky from Tbilisi have moved into the third round of tennis play. Muscovite Andrei Chesnikov lost and took his place in the stands. Coming to an end, the Downhill World Cup has become interesting in skiing. This is taking place in against the backdrop of the beautiful panorama. Skiers competed in the giant slalom. French silver medalist Carol Mail overtook Olympic champion Carol Lee Gartner. Now only Mail can keep Austrian Kronberger from a third World Cup victory. Kronberger was only ahead by 0.12 of a second. The super slalom and the giant slalom are ahead in Switzerland. The leader of Italian soccer, Milan, beat Bari in the 25th tournament. It's no secret that Holland's Bastoen gives great impetus to the team. His goal started the score with a beautiful goal past the defenseman. The second goal, coming after Bastoen's penalty kick, was no less impressive. Milan leads the competitors in the fight for the champion title by 4 points. The traditional bike race, the Adriatic professional race, is taking place along Italian roads. This is not as prestigious as the Tour de France, but is still very interesting. In the fourth mountainous leg, Margina